I have known Joshua for over 12 years now. He's been one of my closest friends. He's always treated me amazingly well. He's always been there for me when not everyone else was there for me. I always had a crush on him, but you know, he was very popular in high school. I wasn't so popular, so I didn't think I stood a chance with him. So when he asked me out for a date, I was ecstatic but nervous at the same time, and I don't know, I've just been attached to him ever since. He's, you know, the love of my life. We've been through 2 or 3 deployments now. We've been to Qatar and Iraq and, you know, everywhere in between. I guess it was May of 2010. We hadn't been dating for very long, but we decided to take a little road trip to Texas. And it's a 12-hour drive, or, you know, a ridiculous amount of time. And we start driving there, and we could sit in complete silence. And I think that's when I realized that, you know, this man is the love of my life. You know, I can sit with him and be comfortable with him and not have a worry or a care in the world, and that's just that's how I knew we were going to be together. And the last deployment, when he went to Iraq, was the toughest for me. It felt ridiculously long. I think I sent him an email every day counting down how long until I would see him again. And that was the time, you know, I had already known I wanted to be with him. I already knew he was the love of my life, but that's when I knew that I absolutely just couldn't live without him. The Army is extremely important to him. His family is extremely important to him. His friends are extremely important to him. Within like a month of dating, Joshua randomly put his dog tags around my neck, and I knew how much the Army meant to him, and so when he did that, I knew how much I had meant to him. And he left on his first deployment, and he made sure that he got a copy of dog tags for me and put those around my neck. And I think maybe twice in my life I've had to take them off, and I refuse to take them off because they're the only way I can keep them close to my heart sometimes. So we're gonna do Afghanistan for about 14 to 15 months. It's eating me up inside, but as hard it is when he leaves, he always comes home to me.
You know, Melissa gave me this unbelievable analogy, you know, months and months ago, when we kind of were in the middle of us, you know, dating and going out, where she said that my whole life is like a puzzle, and in this puzzle, you know, I know exactly how the pieces are going to fit, and this is true. I kind of know how my life is going to go, or I would like it to go. I know where I want to live. I know what kind of house I like to buy. I know how many kids I'd like to have. I know what kind of relationships I want with my kids, my family, the cars I drive, to the activities and hobbies I'd like to do. I kind of know how my life's going to go. And Melissa always said that, you know, that she asked me kind of before if the one piece of the puzzle that's missing is the wife, is the woman. And, you know, she said, you know, you have this whole puzzle, and it's like she doesn't know if she fits. And, you know, it blew me away. The analogy was amazing, and how she worded it was better than I can say. And, you know, what she never realized, what she never thought of, was she always fit. She fit back in high school. She fit when I first got to know her when we were 15, 16 years old. I knew she fit back then. And, you know, 10 years later, I'm sitting here 26 years old, and she's kind of asking me, you know, does she think she fits, or does she think she's going to fit and work in the puzzle, kind of like that is my life. And she always fit. You know, with like Melissa, it's always been about, it's not about wanting someone. It's not about, you know, you like to spend time with that person. It's not about someone making you happy or sad, or someone you enjoy doing activities with. Like with Melissa, it's always like I need Melissa. You know, when I'm gone, when I'm in Iraq, when I'm gone in training, when I'm gone, I'm just gone. Like she says it, she'll say it all the time. She feels like I'm gone a lot, or I'm out doing stuff. You know, Like, she needs to realize and know that I've always needed Melissa. I've always loved Melissa, and you know, I'm not going anywhere. When we started out, we met in high school.
In about 1999, freshman year, in drama class is the first time I remember him. And he was dating my best friend soon after that for a short time. Just a
minor detail.
Just a little high school romance there. And we became fast friends soon after that. I guess we have Becky to thank for that.
Yeah. I used to give her rides home from school. We had even like, I don't even think we had classes together, and I'd kind of track her down towards the end of the day, and I'd be like, Melissa, hey Melissa, you want to ride? You want to ride? You know, because I could drive, and I don't know if she didn't have a car or she wasn't 16 at the time.
Wasn't 16, I don't think.
But yeah, I used to, because you know, I'd take her home. I'd go in, we'd hang out at her house. It was kind of like my little way to step in. So.
So yeah, I think we had some harmless high school flirting, but never dated, anything like that.
I always wanted to, but timing was never right. Yeah.
Never happened. College.
So we went to St. Charles Community College together, and my favorite part of the story is we were going together for a couple of semesters, and we didn't even know it. And when we finally came across each other,
we ran into each other randomly one day.
We started talking, and we kind of got like a little place to meet almost, that I knew where she was kind of going to be certain days and what have you. And I knew Melissa all Melissa's life, since I've ever known her. She's been a huge blues fan. Huge blues fan. You know, she will, if I can get tickets to the game, if I can get whatever, I know it's a guaranteed she's going to go with me. So I run into her, and I just completely made up this story. Where I was like, hey, you know, my cousin actually works for Ticketmaster, and he can get us tickets to a playoff game, because the Blues were at the time were in the playoffs. Big deal if you know anything about St. Louis Blues. Never in the playoffs. So I asked her, I said, I can get tickets to the Blues playoff. Would you be interested in going? And she absolutely was like, well, yeah. And I knew it was a lock. I knew it was for sure going to be a date. And so I went on eBay and bought ridiculous amount, like 2 tickets for a ridiculous amount of money. I don't know what I spent. I know it was at least a couple $100 for Blues playoff tickets. And sure enough, we went. I went and made all the stops. I picked her up. I opened up her doors. We went out to eat. We went and saw the game. We got the little free towel where you waving around and everything.
I still have that towel, by the way.
Yes, it's in her room. We went to the game was awesome. Afterwards, we kind of wanted to hang out a little bit. We hung out a little bit. We didn't really do much though. And I got out of the car, opened up her door for her, walked through her door, you know, and you kind of tell she's a little nervous. And she gives me a hug, and on that hug, she gives me a little kiss on the cheek, and she goes in. And it was a wonderful date. And I never heard from her again. She never...
He acts like he's pulling out old stops, but he always treated me this way in high school, and as long as I've ever known him.
So...
As long as I've ever known him.
Never called me again.
I didn't know it was a date.
So, community college is over with. Years go by, and it was New Year's, or right before New Year's Eve. I had just gotten back from basic and AIT with the military, with the Army, and I sent her, of course, a Facebook message. No other way to contact Melissa Trask. And I said, hey, what are you doing? Let's meet up. You know, I wouldn't mind seeing you for New Year's, blah, blah, blah. Kind of blows me off again. And I was like, you gotta be kidding me. But finally, she really did. She messaged me back like the day after New Year's Eve. And we went on a date. I believe we went to Culpeppers.
And wine at Culpeppers.
Yeah, we had Culpeppers. And then after Culpeppers, we went back to my house and we watched a movie. And we never stopped seeing each other since.
Been hooked ever since.
So, we have been dating how long now?
A little over 1.5 years.
1.5 years? Since what, January 2nd?
January 2nd.
2010. And we'll be getting married here November 11th, 2011.
Yes.
11/11/11. For whatever reason, I about said 2012.
Yes. Veterans Day?
Yeah, it happens to be Veterans Day. We like the date 11/11/11. And I'm going to deploy to Afghanistan in February 2012. And then when the right day strikes Melissa in 2013, we're gonna have big hoopla reception and wedding and party. So
and vow renewal, because we're
vow
already
renewal,
married.
because we're already married. So that is our plan.
That's our story. We're very excited about it.